Yeah. How are you? I feel like I haven't seen you forever.
I know, we don't get to see Virginia.
It's like, well, we haven't had a meeting since
November.
a couple months.
Yeah.
Dan, everybody can hear okay? How are you? I feel like I haven't seen you forever.
We can hear you, or I can.
We hear
All
you.
right.
Perfect.
We got quorum. Okay, we're gonna start right on time. Welcome, everyone, to our Tuesday, February 4th PRAC meeting. I'll begin with the land acknowledgement. I acknowledge with respect that we are in Robinson Huron Treaty Territory, that the land on which we are gathered is a traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and known as Boating. Boating is the home of Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, the historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. Item number 2 on our agenda, the adoption of the minutes. Everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
It's a typo. It's just the 2024.
Oh,
Unless we want to rush to
2024,
hear it.
okay. We'll note that correction. Yeah. May I have a mover for the adoption of the minutes, please? Jen, seconder Mark. All in favor? Item number 3, declaration of pecuniary interest. Anyone have a conflict to note? None noted. Item number 4, adoption of the agenda. And could I have a mover for the adoption of the agenda, please? Tracy, and the seconder, Paul. Item number 5. 5.1 is park development updates. Virginia, floor is yours.
So there's been a number of developments. So in the fall, Westwood and Parkland were both installed. There is one final piece of the pathways that has to be completed. So that's scheduled for the spring. So we'll be looking at having both of those grand openings sometime end of May, early June, and we'll be inviting both of the schools to attend and participate in those events. Rosedale is wrapping up all of its projects, so that's also, you see, that's one of the topics on the agenda tonight, but the grand opening would be scheduled for May, so that'll be the first grand opening for the parks. At the splash pad, the last part that was done in the fall was they did install the umbrella for the shade space there, so that'll be, but they didn't put the fabric up, so because it was so late in the season, just the frame went up. So in the spring, obviously, the fabric will be going up, and then we'll have staff on site starting in June. So that any of the participants that are going to the splash pad will have access to the washrooms prior to the pool opening up. And we are also working on the sensory resolution that was brought forward by council for a sensory playground at Manzo. And we're going into the schools to be doing some consultation. So that's going to be taking place in February. First school will be HM Robinson. We're going to go visit, and we're going to be doing a bunch of engagement sessions with the kids in the classrooms at that point. Yeah, so we were able to do a presentation at Accessibility Advisory Committee open house end of October. So we did a presentation there as well. So, and then we're hoping to also reach out to the Huron Superior District School Board school that's in that vicinity as well to do engagement there.
That's great.
Do you ever engage Thrive in those kinds of consultations since they are children's rehab? And
we haven't had a chance to talk to Thrive yet, but that's a good suggestion to reach out to them directly, because I don't know if there was any representing them at the open house that Diane threw. So yeah, it'd be great
they're a great resource, right? That's their specialty.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Thanks, Tracy. We'll make sure that we do that.
Okay, any questions or comments? I'd like to comment, Virginia, on the great job everyone is doing in the Parks Department with the outdoor skating.
Yeah.
Lots of shoveling, but we actually have cold weather and good ice and everything's working.
Yeah, there has been lots of shoveling, I know that the staff have been doing. Another update, so just some of the capital projects too that have been approved, so we haven't started them yet, but a new scoreboard and uprights for Rocky DiPietro Field is slated for, we're hoping for a spring installation. And then the next piece, we did receive funding for the additional dog park, so you remember a number of years ago,
Yes.
we had that report ready to go with the recommendation to move forward with the dog park down by Elliott.
Oh,
But then COVID had hit at that point, so when COVID hit, staff resources were directed to other activities, so we have funding for a new dog park and then also lighting. So to put lighting at the Strathclyde Dog Park, so that'll help extend the winter season, so that's been something we've been hearing a lot from the owners that are taking their pets there, that it's really difficult because by the time they get off work in winter season, it's already dark outside, so that'll really extend the usage there, and I know it'll be welcomed based off of the feedback we've been receiving.
well, thank you. Moving on, the agenda to item number 6. Subcommittee task force updates. I can speak to STAC. We really haven't met since last November, but we do have a meeting on Thursday, February 6th. And one of the delays in our meeting has been, we've been waiting for the consultants to come up with the final draft plan for the active transportation, the ATM, active transportation master plan. So basically, STAC members were circulated a copy of the new plan. We're having a meeting to discuss it. And hopefully it will soon be on the city council agenda and get approved at some point this spring. Any questions at all? Item number 7, new business. Renaming of Rosedale Park. There we go, Virginia, you're on
Yeah.
it.
So everybody would have received the letter that came from Kiwanis, as well as the support letters and a copy of the policy in your packages. So part of the request, when it's brought forward to rename a park, they need support letters. So, and then the rationale as to why they're requesting that the park be renamed. We have also completed some research to the background of Rosedale Park and how it got its name. So in our historical files, it was indicated that the park had been named after the school. When we did the research, we actually had one of the members of the Municipal Heritage Committee assist with doing the research, a former librarian. And Jamie was able to pull the original neighborhood drawings as well as some of the articles. And everything seems to be linking just to the name of the neighborhood, Rosedale, and we haven't been able to connect that to any individual at this point based on the research that we've completed. So, yeah, so the request is to actually rename the park. They have made a fairly significant investment in the area with their fundraising efforts, the grants that they've written to be able to bring that park to fruition. So we're very grateful for Kiwanis' hard work in really redeveloping that space. So the information's there for the committee to discuss, and we decided they'd like us to bring that recommendation to forward to council for final decision.
Okay,
So, yeah, if there's any questions.
any comments from anyone? I think it's kind of a slam dunk sort of thing. I mean, they have invested quite generously in that area.
I agree with you, Dean. I brought over the policy. If there's no link to anything other than it's the school, it's the neighborhood. That was a huge financial.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have no hesitation.
Okay, so do
As
we
far
need
as
to do a
council.
resolution for that?
We would need a resolution, yeah.
Okay,
I already had it, but I'm just gonna write it out.
thank you, Virginia.
Okay, so I have be it resolved that the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee recommend to City Council that Rosedale Park be renamed Columbus Park.
Okay. And may I have a mover for that resolution? Jen, and a seconder? It was Graham's turn. Thank you, Graham. All in favor?
That's the question about the park. So when the park gets renamed, it's always been known as Roosevelt Park. Is there then a sign that goes up?
Yes. Yeah,
That will acknowledge that it's no one.
yeah, so there'd be a new sign that we put at the entrance of the park as well. We have to be
Mhm.
changing it on the website to try to change it in Google and those other areas as well. And they're hoping to have their grand opening the weekend of May 16th, so it's leading into the long weekend. They actually have the president of Kiwanis National, that is their governing body, will actually be coming up from the Caribbean. For their conference in Chicago, so she's coming to this soon, prior to the national conference in Chicago, so
Oh, that's great.
their governing body covers quite a large area.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Number 8, correspondence.
There is
Not
no,
much happening?
no,
No?
stir. Normal perk stuff and bookings and
All right.
all of that fun stuff.
And I see number 9, our next meeting, or the next meeting of the PrAC committee is March 4th, 2025.
There may be adjustments to that date, so as you know, there was applications that were just closing, so depending on when all of those go to council. It may end up adjusting the date, but before everybody jumps off, I just wanna say thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. I did not reapply. I feel
Yes.
18 years with PrAC. I mean, it's been some wonderful years or whatever. And it's some great things accomplished. Met some great people. We have a great committee now. I wish everyone good luck.
Yes, thank you so much, Dee, and then.
Yeah, ironically, I didn't apply either again. And same thing, I've enjoyed being on the committee. It's a great committee and I just love the experience and the people. So thanks to everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, and
Thanks,
I
Mark.
think we also have some other changes, so. Yeah, to
Mhm.
all the committee
Yeah.
members, that didn't reapply, thank you so much for all your hard work, your time, your efforts. Hopefully you're still coming to the pump track event.
Well, I think that's still a yes. Well,
You're gonna get a
my
phone
role
call.
might be more from the cycling club than from PrAC, but
Yeah.
that will still be an event.
Yes, you'll
yeah.
still get a phone call.
And actually, when you mention it, Thrive are all on board for the pump track thing this year
Oh,
coming up. There's a very eager, enthusiastic group of counselors there that we got to do some work with or whatever in December. And they had talked about it last year. I know that one of our PrAC members has a conflict of interest with Thrive, but he's smiling now. But anyway, it'll be great to have them involved because of their community outreach in that type of thing.
We'll make sure, but yeah, thank you,
Okay.
everybody.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Item number 10, our adjournment. May I have a mover? Tracy, and a seconder, Paul. All in favor? Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a
Thanks.
great
Thanks.
Thank
Have a
you.
good evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.